Yo, 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 what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Nate the Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. To all the returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessings. I give y'all some time to tune in. I already know these notifications ain't go out. Just a quick little check in with the folks. First things first, you already know. Hopefully, everybody having a blessed and productive Taco Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. Hopefully, everybody who's out and about right now, whether you at work or whether you out and about enjoying yourself, hopefully everybody had a good one this past weekend. Hopefully, everybody was able to enjoy themselves overall, and hopefully, all of y'all was safe. Yeah, I know it's been a little minute. It's been more than a week now, but like I told you, things have been getting a little bit more busier and just gotta do too much right now. Appreciate everybody that did tune in to the last live stream. Definitely was a great conversation and all. And again, those conversations are going to be coming up more often. Lara, what's going on, sis? But for those who missed it, y'all could catch the last live stream. Like I said, I'm gonna try to bring something as often as possible. Like I said, just taking care of a lot of things outside of social media. So that's what's up, sis. That's what's up. But yeah, the conversation that we had last time was needed because again, there's so many different things going on right now. And see, like with the mental health, again, this is why it's important for people to really check in on the people they need to check in on. This past week, there was two people that I know, one living in my building, apparently, went missing from, one of them is suffering from slight dementia. And I think Alzheimer's. But the thing is, what confused me about it is because I've always believed that Alzheimer's and dementia was when you was getting up there in age as far as like your 60s, 70s, maybe even your 80s. But for you to be only in your 50s and you suffering from dementia, that's a tall tell sign right there. So one of them did manage to reunite with his family. They found him at the hospital. And I don't know about the other one. But again, for those who might have family members who are suffering from dementia or Alzheimer's, it don't matter what the age is. Make sure you checking in on them and make sure that you have things in order just in case if they do go missing, like a recent picture or just make sure you got all the information because nowadays it could be tricky. There was a situation a while back where person had Alzheimer's and dementia and walked off from family and they didn't find him for months on end. They almost assumed he was dead, So again, just be careful when you got people who are suffering from any form of mental health or mental disease, even now the Alzheimer's, because that's exactly what it is. It's a mental disease. It's breaking down everything in your mind, is warping your reality and all of that. So y'all make sure y'all definitely checking in, especially on the elders who could be suffering from that. Ain't no worse feeling than seeing your family member 1 minute and then the next minute you don't know where they could be at. This is why we say that mental health is important because mental health is on a multitude of different playing fields. Just Jay, baby. Taco burrito, taco burrito. But yeah, like for some people, like I said in the last live stream, you got some people who sit here and say that men's mental health is not important, but that's far from the truth. If you're going to sit here and say that our mental health is not important, then that's basically saying the whole race of men, even down to the babies, our mental health ain't important at all to you. And there's some of y'all that need to stop coming on these platforms saying that shit. I'm sorry, because you never know who could be watching. It could be a moment where somebody think they got a safe space to finally let loose, and then you done destroyed it because of things that you said. And some of y'all doing things again just to rage bait people. But if you can honestly sit here and say that men's mental health isn't important at all, you sadly mistaken. And don't be surprised when that karma comes back around somewhere on your end, especially family wise, and you start going through the motions. Yeah, my bad, y'all. I was trying to avoid all copyrights. I'm trying to get stuff together right now. Um, Today would have been my mother's birthday, so like we always do, since we can't barbecue this time because of the weather, we gonna do a nice little dinner. I'm gonna do some food shorts later. So, but yeah, this is what I'm saying. You never know what somebody is going through mentally, and the fact that you could come on any of these platforms and flat out say that men's mental health ain't important. Oh, that's just a falsehood. You you're ignorant to the you're ignorant to the third power. I'm sorry, because you're basically saying that the whole entire race of men, again, even down to the babies, our mental health ain't important. Like, come on now. And see, it would be somebody that says something like that until it hits the fan. It ain't gonna be funny when your child ends up doing something to themselves out of nowhere, or if they just go missing. And that's the thing with mental health and the dangers of it, because especially when a person has Alzheimer's or dementia, or even if they are mentally challenged, right? They could easily walk the hell away if they want to, or the minute they decide they go out in the world, they could just disappear. And that's the scariest thing, because you never know what could happen. Like look at the boy from a couple years back. Got out to school, they didn't know where he was at, and then they find him a couple days later in the Queens River. Now, how did he get there? You don't know. And that's still something that to this day, it was kind of, you know, not so much as triggering, but it ripped a piece of your heart, because, you never expect that type of scenario to happen where you're supposed to have ample security, even in the schools with special needs kids. And this one just managed to get away. And it was because of that boy tragically lost his life, because we don't know where exactly he ran to. We don't know how he even got in the water. And that's the thing. That's why I said it's very important to think before you speak on these platforms, especially when it comes down to mental health overall. Because mental health is just not just a person that's, oh, they got issues with their brain. No, it could be a multitude of things going on in their brain. Like I was saying, prime example, for those who want to look at it, if y'all watched wrestling, if you know anything about wrestling, you know about the family legacies and everything else. Look at the Von Erich family. That's a prime example of a reason why, you know, you should take the chance and really understand what's going on. Because think about it. That family was successful as far as the wrestling business, but they had their downfall, which was either again suicide or drug overdose. You know, you never know what somebody's going through. You never know how far it could go. Because all it takes is a slight trigger, and that'd be it. And that's what I'm saying. You gotta think about it. If you could come on here and say something like a man's mental health is not important at all, you basically saying your sons, your nephews, your cousins, your uncles, your grandfather, even your father. So none of those people's mental health matter as well, too, right? That's why we saying, some people just do the utmost and say the utmost, and some of it do be rage bait. And in some cases, some people really think that. Riders, baby. You already know if y'all just tuned to hit the like button. So this is what I'm saying. Like you got to think about things before you just come on here and say anything. Because it's critical now. Again, you don't know who could be following you, who watching you. You know, and again, you can get backlash that. Trust me, it ain't gonna be worth it. Some of y'all only doing that again for either clicks, views, or get some sort of attention. But then remember when you unlog from these platforms and you out in the real world again, some of these people don't even you, or some of these people are probably looking at you funny if they know you on here saying and doing certain things that you don't even believe. You can't sit here and actually believe that men's mental health ain't as important. And seeing that's the thing. It's almost to a point where you're trying to just eliminate certain things when it comes to men. And you can't. Because in the long run, guess what? The infrastructure and a lot of the things that's happening now or that's been happening is because of men. And if every man was just to mentally clock out or shut down, what you think gonna happen to the world around us? That protection you say you don't have is really not gonna be there. Everything that was put in place to keep some of y'all safe wouldn't be in place. So what are we talking about? Guess what? In most cases, you can't get a job or you can't even get into a certain career unless you done did some form of a mental background check. Yeah, let me make sure ain't nothing wrong with you. Let me make sure you good before we just hire you. Because we don't want to hire you and then you turn out to be something that either we ain't gonna be able to deal with or it could be bad. So, come on now. Time for some of y'all to take accountability and stop saying the things that you're saying. And when you say something out of spite, or when you're saying something just out of malice, yeah, take accountability and apologize for it. Because you don't believe that. Because you done not just read stories, you know people who probably got people in their family with mental health. So why are we playing games for? Why are we gonna sit here and act like that's supposed to just be spewed around? Not just the internet, the streets too. Because it seems like a lot of y'all are going with whatever you hear, see, and then you want to incorporate it into life. Again, there's nothing more severe than a person with mental health or dementia. Hold on one second. My bad, y'all. Had another dent. I'm trying to avoid all copyrights and everything. Y'all playing games, man. Yeah, my bad, y'all. But yeah, again, to sit here and say that somebody's mental health is not important, that's the most irresponsible and the most callous thing that anybody could say or even promote. Because guess what? Mental health don't just affect men. Let's get this real. It don't just affect men. It affects women too. But guess what? What happens if somebody come on here and say women's mental health is not important? Like I said before, y'all will be quick to want to cancel somebody, right? But the fact that y'all will come on here and say certain things that you know don't make sense or that you know shouldn't be spewed out, it says enough. So, Just wanted to do a little quick check-in again because I do plan on finishing off this conversation later. I got some things I gotta take care of in a little bit. Uncle L, what's going on, my guy? I don't see no pork chop sandwiches. I don't see a spare rib. Uncle L, you slacking, son. What happens to my 4th of July plate, man? Nah, but come on now. You can't sit here and say that a one group, their mental health is not important or not even valuable. Like you can't even say that. And that's the thing. It's time. It's time to start holding people accountable, especially when they come on these platforms and say the shit that they say, man. It's corny, man. Because again, if you're gonna sit here and say that all mental health is not important, then what does that say about your character? Because now again, if you was to come on here and say that about y'all would be quick to try to cancel him. Y'all would sit here and try to go in on them and to no ends. But come on now. It's crazy. Nah, I know Uncle L. I was messing with you, bro. I had to mess with you, my man. Nah, but I'm trying to keep myself balanced as well, too. Like I said, look, prime example. For people who are dealing with anniversaries or might have lost people, this is where somebody's mental health can be affected, you know? And you never know what's going to happen or how things could possibly turn out. So, again, think before you speak on these platforms. Think before you speak in life. Because you can't honestly think you out in the world and saying the shit and people actually believe it. Some of the things y'all come on here and say, damn well if you said it out in the streets or said to people who actually had a decency and a common sense factor, they would have probably knocked your block off. Like, what you mean? Like, why would you say that? Or they would just stop messing with you altogether. Like, oh, that's how you really feel? Get the moving. That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying, like, stop sitting in and poking fun and stop trying to rage bait when it comes down to severe situations. Again, mental health is a severe situation because it can get critical. It could go from 0 to 1,000 dependent. Shots, what's going on, my guy? Hold on, son. I could have swore you had a wrench, my guy, but I gotta figure that out, son. Unless you changed, son, and I don't know about it. Because I could have swore I gave you a wrench last time you was in here, son. But nah, you already know, bro. But yeah, that's all I'm saying. And I'm holding people accountable when it comes to that, though. Like, there's no way y'all could come on any of these platforms and think to say that mental health, period, even for men, ain't important. So what, your baby's mental health ain't important? Like, come on, man. That's what I'm saying. And the fact that you would think that, knowing that there's somebody that you know or somebody within your friends that somebody family member is going through something like that, or possibly has the worst severe cases of it, and you sitting over here saying it's not important though. Like, come on now. And anytime that does happen, they should clap your channel automatically because I'm quite sure they watching everything, right? Because again, it's just rage baiting at the end of the day. But if you want rage bait, at least let it be fun. And at least let it be about something that is fun. Mental health ain't fun. People committing suicides ain't fun. People disappearing from family members and gone for long periods of time, not fun. Somebody with dementia that could easily walk away from family and could be gone forever, not fun. So y'all need to stop with the nonsense. Keith, what's going on, my guy? That's why I had to come back on here and just do a quick check-in with the people. Because like I said, you never know who's going through what. Maybe something that's being said will resonate, but then, stop doing that, because when it's all said and done, all that attention that you craving, you gonna get it. And you ain't gonna get it the way you think you're gonna get it. It's gonna come with a cost. A cost you're not gonna be able to pay. So you better think twice and start being more strategic. But to be honest with you, I'll be real. Some of y'all don't even need to come on social media because the shit that just comes out of your brain cells and you think to put out in the world is just like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there, yo. You hear that loud, that's where you know I'm just gonna leave it there. Because I'm trying to avoid pulling out gloves again. I'm not holding no punches no more with anybody. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like, how do you sit here and say that? And then with a smile, like it's supposed to be funny. It's funny, right? It's funny until it happens to you. It's funny until it's within your circle, within your realm. Then it ain't funny no more. Then it's now you looking for sympathy. Then it's oh well, what can we do? Or I don't understand. No, y'all didn't take the time to understand. What y'all wanted to do was make your own assumptions about it, and then just go off the deep ends with it instead of actually doing your damn research. And I don't got to pull out numbers on certain things. I just see it every damn day. I just literally watched before the 4th of July at least 5 people that could be possibly homeless, but also just getting out of the damn psych ward because they still got hospital bands on their arm. So what does that tell you? Like it's not funny. The people that really are suffering, they ain't holding them. And, they're not holding them but for so long. And that's what I'm saying. It's like there's an in and out process. That's crazy, man. Nah, it's not just social media, Keith. That's really in the streets too. You got people that think that dumb shit. Okay. Find out the hard way. And this is coming from somebody that's come up and watched certain scenarios. Even witness shit that shouldn't have even had to witness. But it gave me an understanding on what's what. The simplest things, even down to when somebody's having a seizure. Again, be more conscious and more wise and more aware of what you're saying on here. And if you ain't got nothing to say, turn your shit off. And I'm not just saying your social media. Turn your whole mind off. Shut it down. Recoup. Refocus. Because again, it don't make sense. Angela, baby. And this type of thing right here is not triggering to me. It really makes me see that some people really don't value what they say, and then they wonder why they get all the backlash they get. Ain't nobody trying to sit here and listen to that same rhetoric, and some of y'all gonna find out the hard way. Y'all better look at some of these quote unquote influences y'all trying to follow. Or you better look at what's going on with influencers and just people in general who got the voice and in the backing. Some of them are going through the biggest backlash right now just because of things that they said or things that they're doing. On that. So again, if you sitting here making fun of mental health in any way, shape, or form, guess what? At some point it'll come back. Remember the internet and remember the world. Don't forget. Karma really just it'll backfire right in your face immediately. So some of y'all think y'all getting away with the nonsense you spewing. It's only a matter of time for you to hit that reality wall. And then you're going to see, damn, I should have never did this. Well, it's too late now because that's a decision that you made, right? It's just like in life. You got multiple choices, but the minute you decide to make a decision, that's something you're going to have to live with, whether it's a good one or a bad one. Because some of y'all really need to think again. Think before you speak. Do your research on these things. And like I said with me, I could pull up numbers. I choose not to. I don't have to. See, I could break down any topic any way imaginable. I choose not to. I'm just going to keep it plain and simple. Because some people only understand plain and simple. And that's sad. But come on now. Imagine if you got children watching that. And not just anybody's children, your children if you got children. What happens if your son come across one of your streams and hear you saying something like that? What happens if your daughter come across the stream and hear you saying something like that? What you think gonna happen? Come on now. Everybody thinks shit is a game. Nah. Because again, it's about having some decency and some morals when it comes to that. You don't play around with certain things. And if you think that it's entertainment to come on here and rage bait and say things, especially about people who could be suffering from any form of mental health crisis, you're smoking dicks. Sorry to tell you that way. And I'm not holding it back today. You're smoking dicks. And my Nino voice is this glass you been smoking? Now see I let them infiltrate. I'm not playing with y'all, bro. I gotta stop like coming on any of these platforms and just stop saying that shit in the streets. I hear some people say it in the streets. I'm like, you really don't believe that, do you? And I walk away from people dead ass, man. Ignorance, man. Ignorance is bliss right now in this generation. Sorry. Gotta understand that. Some people really get uptight because how you say things when you should really focus on the message at hand. It's like some people will feel a type of way the way I come at shit, but this is me. Whether you like it or not, this is me. Ain't no changing that. Because if I change that, then I change a part of myself. Hell up out of here, man. This is just me. I tell it like it is. Don't sugarcoat it. Whether you like it or not.
No, you're doing too much. Stop biting on him now.
Tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. You know, that's the difference. I ain't gonna tell you what you want to hear. I'm not feeding no egos. I'm not boosting nobody. I'm going to just tell you what you need to hear. And for the ones that need to hear that, if you think it's a game, to sit here and come on these platforms or just even spew that shit in the streets, you got another thing coming to you. Don't be surprised if some of y'all actually get your heads rocked to sleep just for that. You know, it's time to get back to common sense and decency. Because again, there was just things that was just never to be joked about. And if you joked about it 9 out of 10, it was going to be a problem amongst you and whoever else. So don't forget that part neither. You know? But nah, you know, this is the thing. You know, when you have a talk like this, some people will get upset because you ain't say things the way you should have said it. Some people will get upset because you ain't say things they wanted you to say. No, I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. I'm telling everybody that need to hear that. You're playing games and you're going to get all the wrong prizes that you seek. You seeking so much attention and ground on these platforms, you're going to crumble yourself from the inside out. You know? Yeah, no, I know, bro. That's not just that. That's in general. That situation was completely different. And this thing even had to do with mental health. But still, it just goes to show some of y'all are going to get what you get. Just by saying the things you're saying and actually believing it. So again, men's mental health ain't important. So women's health ain't important either, right? Nobody's mental health is important. That's what we're saying. That's where I'm getting at. Because some of y'all really like take certain things and you will really run with it, even with a narrative that ain't true. Again, don't speak about shit and don't poke fun at certain things and you don't know the ramifications of it. That shit need to change. I'm here to say that today to anybody on any platform. If you spewing that stupidity, expect somebody to be checking you at some point. It don't matter who. It could be me. Because again, I've come up and I've seen these things. I didn't have that on you. Hold on 1 second. Y'all turned that on. For got family over here trying to burn stuff up. My bad, y'all. Like I said, I'm getting stuff ready for Mama's birthday dinner later. And today was just one of those days I said I'm gonna check in. Even though it's her day, I'm still gonna check in with the folks, let y'all know I'm good. But I want to definitely like chime in on that. Because again, it's crazy. It's crazy that some of y'all could really have that mindset to go out and say anything and think that it's not going to be a ramification. It will be. And if you're not prepared to take it, if you ain't going to be held accountable, then you better think twice before you get into that situation. Period. There's only so much you're going to be able to say or do before somebody chop your head off. Because again, there's nothing funny about that. Nothing good about that at all. All in all, though, you know, it's just about that time.
Yeah, I gotta eat.
Like overall, though, like it's about that time. Change the mindset and start getting back on that growth. Because again, in the long run, you can't put a price on that. What's more important, you know, your dignity and your self-respect, or some clicks and views and some attention? Nigga, my bad. Bro, I'm about to drop kick your ass. Hold on 1 second. Like, yo, you act like you ain't just seen me on the. My bad, y'all. I just had to come check in real quick because I see it's about to get crazy. You about to hit elbow drops, leg drops, all the wrestling moves, but it's all in love, though. It's all in love. But nah, you know, again, some of y'all will start being held accountable, even in the streets. Y'all gonna be held accountable for the things you say and you do. So be wise in what you say and what you do. You know, because again, if you're not prepared to take that accountability when it comes, what you gonna do? But again, you should feel remorseful for saying something like that to begin with. Some of y'all really, I don't even think really watch your replays and see what's going on. You just say, fuck it. I said it, I did it, it's whatever. But it's crazy. Can't do that.
Now.
Yeah. But nah, I just want to, you know, let that be known. You know, it's time for everybody to start taking a stand on that. You know, again, when it's all said and done, you know, there's things you just can't spew anyway and think that it's going to be a cool thing to do, because what happens now when you have a whole group of people on your neck? You see what's going on in certain communities now when you say certain things, even when it's not malice. So what makes you think it's not going to be that way when it comes down to people who are suffering from severe forms of mental health? It's going to get critical. So again, what's more important? You know, dignity, your morals, and your respect, or some clicks and views and some subscribers. Choice is yours, man. I ain't gonna get too crazy. Butterflies, what's going on? I ain't gonna get too crazy with it though. I'm just asking a general question, because some of y'all have blurred the lines. For some, y'all will sit here and say that, oh, it's about building. For some, y'all will say it's all about trying to connect with people. There's a multitude of ways you saying and doing things and saying that it's beneficial for you. But some of y'all really ain't using y'all platforms for anything beneficial outside of a little bit of money and some attention. And it's sad, because if some of y'all actually think and actually move in the world the way you think, oh yeah, this is why our society is fried now. Sorry to say it that way. Frugal, baby. You know, I just, like I said, it's time to start really like holding these people accountable for the things that they say. You can't sit here and say that nobody's mental health is important. That's the equivalent of you saying somebody's physical health ain't important. It should be, because guess what? It affects everybody. Mental health affects everybody. Physical health affects everybody. Like, let's keep it real, man. Let's stop playing these little rage-bait games and, you know, stop trying to gain clout and attention just by doing so. You want to really gain some real clout? You want to really gain something good? Bring something good. How about that one? Stop bringing trash and bring some actual good shit. And maybe, just maybe, you'll benefit the way you're supposed to benefit. And it really is sad that most ways for most people to benefit is through some negative bullshit. But then we got those who don't necessarily have to go down that road, and they have still remained and still remain where they at now. It's not about numbers, it's not about this, it's just about the results. The results is always going to be good because it's hard work being done. There's no shortcuts, no days off. And when it comes down to somebody's mental health, that's the biggest thing everybody should focus on. Because guess what? Every day you gain a new information, even just from this alone. But overall, though, I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. It's about to start getting noisy up in this motherfucker. But I could be back later on tonight, definitely with the conversation. And I'm gonna drop the link in case anybody want to chime in. But for those who might just be tuning in, y'all already know what time it is. Appreciate everybody that's been a part of the build, still becoming part of the build. And yeah, we still got great conversations and topics to bring. And I should be bringing this back later today. You know. But all in all, though, hopefully somebody did get something out of this. Again, let's start getting back to that. Like, and that means all around the board. Start holding these people accountable when you hear them saying and spewing rhetoric that you know for a fact could have negative impacts and consequences. Because I got one question to ask. If you happen to have said something while somebody was in one of those modes, and you said something that could have been triggering, and God forbid they decide to do something to themselves or do something to you and themselves, are you going to be prepared for all of that? Are you prepared for all of those consequences? Or if somebody just hurts themselves behind something you said or something that you put out there, what you think gonna happen? Are you gonna be prepared for whatever lies behind your decision? Quick question. But again, you know, we're gonna be back at it later. But overall, appreciate everybody that rocked out. And for those again that's coming in, y'all can catch this replay. And make sure y'all share this out. Like I said, I'm gonna be coming back and forth, and I'm gonna be doing mental checks on people. I'm gonna be doing checks, period. And I'm not gonna be on every day, like I said, because I got things I'm taking care of outside of this. But when I do, we're gonna have these real talks. So when the link is dropped, y'all already know what time it is. But yeah, let me hurry up because I gotta start getting this cooking together, y'all. Oh, don't worry, food short coming later. Don't worry. We gonna rock out with the birthday dinner. Don't worry, we got you. We got you. But overall, though, appreciate everybody who has been a part of the build, still becoming a part of the build. You know, hopefully y'all enjoy the rest of your mornings, afternoons, and I already know it's already hump day somewhere in Australia, but you know, I still need my lottery numbers for tomorrow today, damn it. But overall, hopefully y'all enjoy the rest of y'all mornings and afternoons. And like I said, I'll be back with the conversation. Give or take, I should be back tonight, like around 8 or 9. So y'all look out for it. But y'all was new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to the replay game. Shout out to the Shadow Mafia and the Shadow Babies. Y'all know what it is, baby. For everybody that was in attendance today, y'all already know that love is love and they'll be reciprocated as such. I don't know how to be fake. All I can do is give you real. And that's all I'm going to do is give you real topics and real builds. Like I said, I got some shorts coming later, and I'll be back tonight, definitely. Just look for that reminder. Y'all stay safe. Keep that third eye open. Till the next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.